Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to URS. We are here for round number 2 of season 4, and we're at Brazil. It is the 1 year anniversary of the first ever race in this league's history. I'm your commentator, Ryan Ocon31, and alongside me today for his commentary debut is Morgan Cheeseman. Welcome along.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for bringing me along.
No problem, no problem. And it's good to have you. Burning Man had issues with his game, with game share, so
Yes.
it's good to have you along.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
It's a warm
Fill out that
welcome.
spot.
Hello, everyone.
Now, you've raced in this league before. You reserved back in Spain last season, and now you're here in the commentary box. So you've done two things now
I've done
as of today.
two. Yeah, it's a very different feeling to be up in the commentary box this time. Um, I've got a little bit of a shakes, so bear with me on a few things, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Plus I've got Ryan by my side, so we're in good hands.
Yeah, most definitely. And the other thing as well, with that said, is oh what was that? I lost train of thought. That's not good. um, Whatever. We'll get on to past races here before we get on to anything else. I want to talk about um season 1 with this race, the first ever race in the league. Paulo
Hmm.
God took the first ever pole for Haas. Aaron Ocon took the first ever race win. That was for Red Bull. Now, a season later from that, season 2, it was the championship battle at the time, Davis and Riles. Davis came out on top in that battle. That involved a wet race to some extent. It was wet at the beginning.
Yep.
And the season 1 race involved a wet qualifying session in Q3. Now,
Hmm.
the thing here is we've done some sessions. We've gone back and forth with that. And I sort of have to wonder. We saw the stat of the season opener in Mexico with rain in each season opener, at least at some point in the event. I have to wonder at this point: are we going to get any rain today in Mexico or and today in Brazil?
In Mexico. It's I mean it's possible. There's always a chance for rain. Brazil isn't best known for rain in normal procedures, but you know, anything's possible.
Always has a good chance. Especially here, it always has a good chance for sure, and especially considering the 2 seasons we've ran it, it's gone pretty well with that. So, yeah. Now, there's a couple things to go over when it comes to standings results. We'll quickly go over last week before we get our final two drivers in here. When it comes to last week, first time race winner of Polo God.
Yep.
As for the rest of the podium, Chungus battling for that race win. Jab also kind of in the thick of things behind that, but ended up on the podium. And Blue Goggy got his best finish of fourth, while Ludwig also took his first points finish and outraced a teammate, or sorry, outqualified a teammate for the first time. So, if you go to Twitter, you see the US news page, there's like 30 something stats on there probably with like a lot of records and stuff like that are broken, just some things to keep up with. Usually you'd
Yeah.
have about 10 or 11 things that change a week, but yeah, to extend that a lot showed how much Mexico was important to US, and not only that too, but the most viewership in the league's history. At the peak viewership, we tied the average viewership at 13, average viewers watching during the whole stream, and then the peak viewership at 20. So I must say I was impressed with last week.
Yeah, it looked rather good. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there, but it's it's brilliant. I mean, well done to everyone who came in and had a look at the league. I'm like I said, wasn't there, but I'm sure it was a brilliant race. Obviously, well done to Lojovic for getting points and out qualifying his teammate. That's always good. Well done to Blue Goggy. He seems like he's an upcoming racer. It's always good. Always good to see new talents. And of course, Polo God as well. He congrats on taking the first win. Um, you know, I can't say yet, but he might do very well in this league season this time.
Yeah, I mean, people always question, oh, you're too fast for the Haas, everything else, but I think he's fit into it really well. And Chungus ran him down with a 4 second gap after everything happened there. Another thing as well is, speaking of Chungus and speaking of Williams, for the first time in this league, after last week, Williams led the Constructors' Championship, and they have that lead over Alfa Romeo and Haas heading into this week. Now, the thing is, they've always finished second in the championship every season of this league, and now they're leading for the first time. Eighth different constructor to do so. I must say, that's quite the stat.
That's quite impressive for Williams. I think, yeah, double points in the first race. It shows potential that they've got a very good lineup of racers. And what I'm trying to say, the it looks promising for Williams. I'm gonna say, hopefully they can keep up with that streak of points and wins. But we'll have to see. It's a guessing game at this point, Ryan. We've got so many races to look out for. See where drivers are strong, where drivers are weak, where anyone else can, bring it up the field. We'll just have to see.
Speaking of weak points, we had a couple weak points last week with some penalties. We have some penalties to be served this week in Brazil. QBR20 Joe got into an incident on the opening lap. He's going to have to serve a 3-second penalty today. That'll be added on to his end of the race time. Not only that as well, but a one-shot qualifying penalty for Com, a one-shot qualifying penalty for Sam Steed. Now, you might not fully know how it works, Morgan, but let me explain it for those of you who are new and are not so known with the penalty. So what happens is Sam Steed and Com, they will put on their setups, they will start their stream if they haven't already, they will edit the fuel and make sure they have the tires they want to go out on. After they do that, they have to go out of the pit lane, get one lap, and that's it. If it's invalid, too bad. If it's not good enough to advance, too bad. It has to be at the beginning of the session, and if they get in, they get in. However, it used to be to where you can only do Q1 with it. Well, it was changed, I believe, in Season 2 to where you could do a lap in Q2 if that's the sake. You could do a lap in Q3. All would happen at the beginning of the session, though. And by the way, we've readied up quite early today to where we get to see what the weather looks like for the race and qualifying.
Ooh, good point, actually.
Oh, and Com also has a 5-second, by the way, too, just to add on to that. That was for the readying up last week before you are supposed to. That is another thing that'll be mentioned at the end of Q3 this week.
I see. I'm learning a lot. Even in the first commentary, I'm still learning.
There you go. Here we go. Q1 about to get underway, and I think two people will definitely focus on in the session. We might give an interview at some point to some people. That's what we always do, but last week we were not able to do that. One thing, well, I think we did with one person last week, but usually we get 2 or 3. This week we'll probably be able to do that with Sam and Com having their one-shot qualifying penalty. But, yeah, I'm really interested to see, yes, it's cloudy. Don't know if it's going to rain. We'll find out from the drivers, but the thing I'm at least interested to see in this session is Sam and Com. Can they set a lap that will get them into Q2 at least? I think there's a chance of maybe one of them doing so. Both of them, little unlikely.
It's possible. The people I'm counting on of getting in to Q2 is I've got my eyes on Aaron. Aaron seems to be in the zone. Let me just double check the results from last time. Right, I've always seemed to focus on Aaron the most. I know it seems a bit biased, but he
Those GSR days.
Oh, those GSR
It definitely
days,
does
man.
it. It definitely does it for why you do. I know that. He was either one to watch out for or one to be careful of. And you know what? It's nothing against Aaron, but I know some other drivers do feel that way with the opening laps recently. So I understand it. It's nothing against him, but it's true.
Oh, it's always been so much fun racing with the people you're with, but then watching them race, just seeing their actual talents on the track is brilliant. It's so much fun.
Definitely. Here we go. Sam Steed 07 about to start the first lap of qualifying, and he had a decent exit out of the final corner, but no pressure on him, he said. No pressure on him, none at all. He's just got to set a lap that'll get him into Q2, and got to set one that will be fast enough. You know, he started not really focusing on qualifying, but he has nothing to lose at this point, especially considering that in the opening round he got points. He made it through to Q3 last week, and that was the second time in 18 weeks of racing in this league, which is crazy to think about considering he has the record for the most consecutive Q3 appearances at 15, which was held from Season 1 to Season 2 in that time frame. And Jabuli MSU, one behind it, he can tie the record today. Sam Steed now coming through. Sector 2 now. Trying to push the limits. Doing a decent job of this. This looks like right now it would be an 8.8, 8.7. But that may be what the cutoff may be. Especially considering that the sessions I've done, it's been a close field. And you're going to have to watch out for a lot of drivers. Because I've heard from many people, anyone can win this race. And Sam Steed is coming to the line with opening DRS. Battery completely gone. Now, running into the finish line. What's this going to be? 9-1. So, he sets the first lap of qualifying. And I believe next will be Calm, who also had the one shot. Now, is he going to get any better than Sam? Or is it going to be slower? Coming to the line, Calm is going to be behind. So, there you go for the two one-shotters.
There you go. 3 tenths between first and second. Com seemed to be a little better on his ERS management there. He had a lot more in storage. Maybe a bit too much, but I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
I also saw that Aaron took second spot from Sam and Com. He didn't see that. I didn't see that lap, unfortunately, but it seemed pretty good. He's got a lot of energy storage there as well. Yeah, it seems to be. It's quite close so far, you know.
They only could get closer.
It's gonna be good.
Aaron split Sam and Calm, by the way. Riles went to the top of the board, and I think also starting a lap now, or either finishing one. Sorry, that is Calm finishing a lap. Apologies. Also, we would go over the first starts and reserve appearances. Our only reserve appearance this week is LSJ Rundle. LSJ Rundle in the AlphaTauri filling in for Kostag, who was missed this week. Kostag and Joseph. Oh, Rundle's around. Oh, and he keeps it off the wall, luckily right there in his lap. Good avoidance. He could have hurt the front wing there, and at least had to go back to the pits immediately. He's still probably going to go back to the pits regardless.
Again, I didn't see what happened there. Good thing Ryan's on the case.
Turn 6 and 7, and that's going to be a really tricky part for these drivers in that area. That area is just tough on the rear, tough on traction. Another one is 2 through 3, and that turn 3 curb you just don't want to clip. And while we watch Pluto, we watch him not clip at all and stay completely away from it on his lap as he's going to start one. Let's go on board with him and watch this lap. Hot lap on that ERS. Well, I was thinking overtake button's DRS now, but yeah, I'm losing it. You know, people thought I was losing it by saying Riles was going to win, but you know, Riles is top of the board right now, so we'll see how much that changed with Pluto completing his lap in the next 30 seconds. Pluto coming through 5th gear in that corner, revving it out 2nd to 3rd. Now you can just see how much ERS is wasted in qualifying on these laps. Coming across the line, I believe, is Chungus. Gonna start a lap or Jab. Couldn't really tell which one that is. That is Jab. Next up's a Haas, but Pluto committing to this inside line. This corner is really tough on the rear as well. Turn 12, turn 6, 2, and 3 are going to be all corners you watch out for. Pluto clipping that inside curb. Not a lot of people have done that so far, but Pluto is going to have this run to the line. And where is he going to go? Is he going to have to struggle to get out of Q1? Is he going to be safely through? So far with this lap, comes to the line, he will set a 9-3, which splits Sam and Aaron.
That's not bad from Pluto at all. He seemed quite focused in that lap. Going through, which corner is it? Final few corners where he clipped the inside line. Sometimes that's quite dangerous. You can lose the rear on that corner, so he did well to keep it together.
Yeah.
It looked like we had a spin on the coming out the final on the second sector.
Oh, that was Haas.
There's a lot of people.
It was Paulo. He was actually on a lap. Yeah. Paulo said he was turn 6 he was having the issue, but now it's the same type of corner with the rear, but it's turn 12. And there you go. Chungus said rain, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. I'm trying to check the streams, but my computer keeps trying to freeze on that for me. While we're at it, Joseph's completing a lap. Let's see where he goes. Fastest, 8.9.
Wow.
That's fastest we've got so far. So, by the way, if you do not know, I noticed as well in the lobby, Maddie Mumu is Maddie Cow now. I did not realize the gamer tag changed till we got in the lobby. But while we're at it, we'll watch his lap. But while we watch his lap, why don't we say we get an interview in with Sam Steed, who is out of this well, not literally out yet because Will just set a time that's 7th, but retired from the session due to the one shot. Out, can't complete any more laps, but he's not out completely, if that makes sense. We're gonna get him in here
I get that.
and give him an interview. Why not?
Should I invite him?
We'll ask him how it's going.
I'll bring
Yeah,
him
go
in.
ahead. Yeah. While we're watching Matty Cow,
There he is.
that's going to be weird to get used to. Lando goes 4th. And by the way, Lando is trying to replicate what Ty's did in the Season 1 race. Lando has a crazy setup, which actually puts him almost level with the straight line speed cars because of that straight line speed difference. He has like 12.9, 9.12. It's something like that with the wings, which is a lot more closer to the single digits compared to everybody else. So, Lando is exactly doing what Ty's was doing. Ty's went from like 3rd to 1st in one of the laps at Brazil in the Season 1 race in the opening laps when there was that 4-car, 5-car breakaway. Polo then went from 1st to 4th with how slow that Haas was in a straight line. So look at how much times have changed. Matty Cow goes 4th. Let me see if I can get Sam in here. I don't know if you got the invite or not.
Yeah, I was sorting that out. I don't know if you think I'm
yeah.
don't know. There he is.
Surfy just went 2nd, by the way. Oh, did it pop
I
up?
saw that.
Oh, now it did. There we go. Yeah, let's go on board with somebody while we're at it.
Joe finish this lap.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Didn't know. We'll go on board with your teammate while we talk to you. He's about to start a lap. Anyway, your lap. Do you feel it was safe to get through with the way we're looking right now?
I'm not sure, but maybe. I mean, the good thing is that I'm ahead of Com. So that's good.
Let's hope. My other question I was going to ask before I let Morgan ask anything as well is, heading into this race, you have the one shot from the incident in qualifying last week. How are you feeling? Because last week, you qualified decently. You got into Q3. I know it was a little crazy at the end. But you also ended up finishing in the points after, I believe it was the collision at the start, and having to drive your way back through to finish 7th.
Well, I had to drive through twice. I think if the quali stayed well, I was qualifying top 5, but unfortunately it didn't. Jeez. Anyway, but yeah, I feel a lot better this season. I've worked hard to try and get quicker, and I hope it's sort of showing now.
Anyway, good luck in the race. Morgan, do you have any questions for Sam?
I don't think so. I would. How did you feel on the lap that you did set? Was there anything that felt strange with the car, or were you comfortable with your lap?
It was all normal. There was just one sort of miss of apex that might have gained me more time on the exit. I don't know, but it was just nice to get that lap out there, and I think it's going to be hard to beat with most of the times others are putting in. So I think that's a very solid time there to set like straight away out the box in Q1.
Fair enough. I mean, well done with the lap. We're sorry to see you fall out so soon, but hopefully we'll see you in Q2.
Yeah, cheers.
Enjoy. Just ask Com if he wants an interview. Blue Goggy settled up. That was 14th fastest, really behind there, but that cutoff time is a lot slower than I thought it'd be. It's a 9.5 right now, where Goggy's at. So that, I don't know if that worries me or concerns me, but surely with where Sam's at, time-wise, it does shock me that the cutoff time is as slow as it is right now. And Thrasher, by the way, is having trouble in this lap. He is sliding sideways. We're going to switch over to Chungus, who has just started a lap, by the way. And as he heads into turn number 4, 17-0 in the sector. Not too bad.
Yeah.
And
second
8-6 at
sector.
top for CJ, by the way. Oh, good, sorry. Yeah.
No worries. I just saw a sector 17 is not bad for the for sector 1. He's going into halfway. I think he's about halfway in sector 2 now. He's in that S section, the tight S section. Keeping it very, very tight in the into the apexes there.
Corner's tough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, he clips. Again, coming out of sector 2 into sector 3, he clips the inside corner. It seems like a lot of drivers are actually doing very well with that.
Here we go.
There he goes.
8-8. Second place.
Second, that's not bad at all.
And while all that happened, Pluto got himself third on the board. Lajovic got himself fifth. So this track is evolving right now. So that could be changing to whether or not Sam gets in. Com is out of qualifying. And that is not what he wanted at all. Now, his only hope, I'm going to assume, to get in would be if anybody disqualifies herself and no one to improve, but I doubt that'd be the case.
We want to bring Com in.
I asked him in main chat if he wanted an interview. Let me see if he responded. If he doesn't want one, he doesn't want one. Let me check. Nope.
All right.
Don't see anything yet. Browdy said turn 7 is going to be a blast, and I agree completely. While we're at it, since Surfy's about to approach turn 7, he's trying to start another lap. We'll watch on that. How about a Ferrari 1-2 right now? Aaron Ocon up to second place, and that just shows how much the track really is improving. And Sam Seed will definitely be toward elimination soon. 6 and 7 here for Surfy. Really keeping it clean with the Haas in 6th gear. He was very careful with how he entered it, and that's how a lot of these drivers will have to enter. You cannot just completely go full throttle as soon as you get back on the power. It is just not going to work. And now, Surfy's coming to the ending part of the lap and Sector 2. This inside curb either can catch you out or just the way you enter it. Now Surfy 2/10 up in this lap. Surfy has never got out of Q1, and today he's trying to do so for the first time, while he sets the purple middle sector, opens DRS, comes to the line with below 20% of the battery, lucky enough not to invalidate, but pushing the limits, coming to the line, second place.
Second place for Surfy there. He did very well. You're telling me he's never gotten out of Q1 before.
Never.
I think he's got potential today.
Surely. With Com retiring already, Sam, Aaron, Chungus, yeah. I'd even say he has the potential to make Q3, but we're not going to jump the gun too much.
No, we won't jump it yet. No, that's very true.
And since we're going to speak about Q3 for just a second, I'm going to put out there Lajovic is 7th right now. Currently, he'd be in. Lajovic trying to make Q3 for the first time as well. He has never made Q3. His best qualifying is 14th in this league. Last week, he was out in Q1. And while we're at it, let's watch Blue Goggy, who's also on the cusp of elimination right now. He's 17th. And if he doesn't get going, he's going to be facing elimination. But he's got going so far, for the most part, 2/10 up in the first sector. Here it comes through this corner, which is just so treacherous, especially inside curb, which he did clip right there, didn't lose the rear. Goggy, in these practice sessions that people have hosted, he's found a lot of pace. He's up there. And, you know, we saw it last season at races like Singapore. I'll even add in Bahrain. Glimpses of his pace to where he has the potential. Purple in the middle sector right there. But Goggy, he showed that he has glimpses of potential to win races, to run up front, but he just never got the opportunity, never got the chance. Besides Singapore, he bottled that race win. And then at France, he then scored his best finish last time there until Mexico came around, where he got 4th place, and now he's going to be 7th right now in this qualifying session. And the exact thing we saw in Mexico, a front row start, could be what we're seeing here today if he gets through.
Yep. I mean, again, like I keep saying, all these laps that are coming in, they're very close together. The gap, I think the gap from 1st to 8th is about roughly about 4/10. Which in itself is not a bad gap between 1st and 8th. So everyone
here we go.
Very close.
Sorry to cut in, but Rundle is about to finish a lap here. 5/10 down on the time. Will Cromack out of qualifying. Lando about to start a lap. And while Rundle comes to the line in this AlphaTauri, he would be reserving at best a McLaren, but he's going to go 10th place. That's pretty good. In an AlphaTauri, that is pretty good around this track. He's got to be happy with that. Also an improvement from Riles coming across the line. That's 6th. It's going to knock Sam Steed to 13th right now. Thrasher is also going to come to complete a lap with a minute and less remaining in this session. McLaren, that is Lando Norris or Rowdy coming to the line. Either or, Lando starts a lap. Thrasher now coming to finish this lap. He would knock Lando out, while Joe is going to come to either start a lap or finish a lap to try to get himself in. Thrasher coming to the line, and Thrasher is barely in. However, the Mercedes behind is Joe. Is he going to start a lap or finish one? No, he's starting one, so that now knocks Lando out. Lando will now have to either face elimination or improve. And that also means Sam Steed's close too. Sam Steed cannot have 2 or more cars improve. How about Rowdy improving though? Knocking his teammate below, but Rowdy's out. Joe, now to the middle sector here. We're going to go on board with him and watch what he can do in the Mercedes. Joe, not the best of qualifying last week for him. Did not make Q3. This time, he's just trying to get out of Q1. Checker flag for a couple people. Matty Cow, 13th. Rundle, 12th. Lojovic, 10th. Lojovic should be in. Jab, 8th as well, by the way. Coming across the line next might be the Alpine. That is Riles ending in the pit lane. Now Chungus does, Jab does as well. Joe coming to the middle sector, coming to complete this now. It's going to be Thrasher, then him. Lando Norris gets out of qualifying. CJ goes faster. And that is by a big margin. That is by a rice cracker margin from Season 2. That is by a lot. And now, Lando got himself out, knocks Thrasher out, but can Joe get out and knock Sam out? Joe comes across the line. He does knock Sam out.
Oh, that's unlucky for Sam. Well done to Joe. What a good lap, keeping himself into Q1. Unlucky for Rowdy as well. I thought he would
Rowdy.
Rowdy. That's my mistake.
No, you're good.
Shut
I
up.
thought it was funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, and look, is Rowdy on the lap still? Oh no, he's not. He's given up now.
Yeah,
That's unlucky. That's unfortunate. But yeah, well done. I mean, CJ as well. What a lap! 1 minute 8.2. That is a decent gap between him and Surfy.
I thought that's what we'd be looking at from the top 3 with all 3 of them having 8.2s, but there you go. Oh my god. Well, before we go through who's out fully, let me talk about this. Considering that gap at the top, let's consider last week with who was out in the bottom 5. Out from the bottom 5 last week, who are also out in this bottom 5, is Thrasher and Will Cromack, 2nd week in a row. Out of qualifying, Sam Steed, Thrasher, Rowdy, Will Cromack, and Com. Com and Sam both had those one-shots. You got to feel for Sam. He just barely misses it.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Sam. He, like you said, he missed out by 2/200ths of a second. That's close between Sam and Matty. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I do feel for him. He looked like he had a lot of potential for getting into Q2, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
Definitely. Now we're on to Q2. And Chungus did say rain. I wonder if it's rain in Q3 or rain in the race, but it is getting slightly cloudier. Just a little cloud over the track, but not by a whole lot. For the first time, by the way, Surfy makes it through to Q2. Congratulations to him. Also looking for his best qualifying in the session is Lojovic, as we previously mentioned. He got through pretty safely, I'd say. And with that being said, he could improve on a 14th place previous best qualifying.
It's very true. Lojovic, seeing from his recent race result, it could be there could be a change for Lojovic. You know, from what I've heard, his best qualifying is, did you say 14th?
Yeah.
With his lap from Q1, it's a possibility he might get into Q3. But I mean,
I can tell you one person who will get into Q3 at this rate. It's definitely CJ. A lot of people have definitely said, with everything that has happened practice-wise within the last couple of days, move CJ's car Move CJ's car. Move CJ's car. And yeah, or not in qualifying. Sorry, in time trial, he set a time that was, I believe, a 7.6. He said it was a fluke lap, but I don't know how much more of an excuse that could be or might not be. I don't know. The question is he going to run that same type of one lap that he ran right there in the race? And by the way, just to put this out here, it reminds me of exactly what Aaron Ocon and Rice did in the past 2 Brazil races. Aaron Ocon wasted 4 or 5 laps on the soft tires, and Rice did, I believe, 2 or 3 laps on the soft tires as well. And the last time we were in Brazil, so you know, CJ had to run a second lap there, and if he used another set, then there you go. That is exactly what would cost him as Ryle starts a lap.
Yeah. Just looking at CJ on his outlaps, taking it very slow. Oh, there's a hold up there, coming out of the final few corners.
Well, Riles is coming to the end of the first sector, 17-1. This Alpine is going to shine, especially through Sector 1 and Sector 3. Sector 2 is going to likely be down to the driver's skill. However, it's also going to be down to the setup, too, with how you manage that setup, how you've adjusted it, whatever the case may be. And now, Riles coming through the middle sector, turn 7, 8. Now we're going to go on to 9. It's like a twisty section right here. It almost wants to hurt your head. But Riles doesn't clip the inside curb right there. Now, is he going to pull to the left side curb? No, but he's going to try to avoid spinning. He looked like he was going to lose the rear there. And now 52.7 at this middle sector. Riles was my pick to win this race, and Riles has had pretty good luck in the past 2 Brazil races. Mind you, it was last game. However, considering he qualified in Q3 at Mexico, his worst track, how is he going to shape up this time? Coming to the line, what's it going to be? 9.6. So, it looked like it was a good lap, but didn't end up being the best of times.
Yes, that's unfortunate for Riles. He did seem rather quick. I mean, Jabba just storms through. So, shut up. He
There you go.
I can't say names. I can't do it.
Just call him Jab. You're good.
I'll call him Jab.
There you go.
Jab. He's set a stonker of a lap. Everyone's
CJ
coming in.
didn't beat it either. There you go. Yeah, everyone is crossing the line. We're gonna find somebody who's starting a lap, so we can get on board with somebody here. How about Rundle? All right, yeah, he's starting a lap. But yeah, exact point. And there was a car parked off there. That was a Haas. That is surfy. Yeah, exactly the point. Everyone's setting laps now. Everyone's seeing what they can push for the limits. They have to try everything they can to get into Q3. And there's a Ferrari right in front of Rundle who has just got him in dirty air. That is definitely CJ. And I don't know why CJ has not got out of the way just till now. That could be a potential one-shot if some of the stewards see it. Because Rundle went off right there, turn 4, messed up the line, and luckily still is on. Whoa!
Big
what a good
twitch
slide
from Rundle
to
there.
save it. Yeah. Usually I wouldn't say what a good slide, but it was a good enough slide to save it. Usually wouldn't say that, but it is the case. He's still going here and gonna try to complete the lap. 52.9. Riles set at 52.7 throughout the whole middle sector, so it still put him maybe around Riles, depending on this final straight in Junção. Don't worry, I can't say names either. It's more of track corner names for me. But Rundle comes to the line. It is a 9.7, and he's surely going to be frustrated with the Ferrari of CJ there. And
yeah, I think
Aaron Ocon crosses the line 9th. Good.
There's going to be something brought up to the stewards there, I think. Don't know who. You said it was CJ who was possibly in the way.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Rundle. I think he's got more potential there. Just a shame that he had traffic in the way. And for CJ as well, I think he should have gotten out the way a lot sooner. There was so much time where CJ could pull across to let Rundle through. It's unfortunate. Look at the draw, I guess. But hopefully, is he on another lap now, or is he starting another one? I'm not sure.
But Joe is sliding. Whoa, turn 4 right there. And he is on a lap right now. He is yet to set a lap in this session. Him and Goggy both on laps. Goggy's also a little bit behind him. But Joe coming through turn 5. Let's go on board with him right here. Coming through inside curb. And now toward the inside curb again. Maybe more so an exit. Now, coming up the gears, 4th, 5th, trying to stay committed to try to find some time. Trying to go all over. Now, 3rd, 4th, this corner, you're going to slide if you don't be careful. He was lucky enough not to slide, especially with a car that has a lot of downforce. That's a car around. That is Lando. There, right before the Sector 3 timing. And Joe coming to the line. DRS applied. Could have got distracted by that. However, coming to the line, it's not going to be a great lap, but it is just behind Aaron.
Blue Goggy sets purple sector 2 as he comes towards the line. DRS is open now. What's he on? He's on a 1.6 so far, 1.7. Blue Goggy sets first. Provisional first. He's done well with that lap. I watched on board with him.
Oh, he's got to get out of the way of the car behind. He's got to get out of the way of... Oh, that's an Alpine. That is Riles. Jeez, that one got close. And that is the second qualifying infringement that we have seen in this session. That may earn him a one-shot, too.
Did Riles get damage?
No, but he had to go avoid Goggy there. Had to take evasive action. And that could have been bad.
That could have been very bad indeed.
Speaking of starting a lap, we'll go on board with Surfy, and then after Surfy, we'll see if we can get an interview in with any of the bottom 5. However, Surfy, trying to get through to Q3, Logivic still in the pit lane. They're trying to make Q3 for the first time, both of them. We spoke about it a lot. However, they've been so impressive throughout Q1 and into Q2, without setting laps yet, to where they have a damn good chance to do so. 17-0 in the first sector for Surfy, now coming through. He's got to be hoping for no qualifying infringements with the way everyone else's laps have gone. And with how tight this track is, you'd think Austria would see more qualifying infringements. However, this one has already seen more than Austria did. 8-6 for Chungus. That's going to put him on to the top of the board. And that should get him through to Q3. 6.5 minutes remaining now.
Surfy still coming through to the final part of sector 2. Let's see what he does. No purple sector.
It was definitely faster than Riles' one because his was a 52.7. I focused on that. Surfy's was a 52.3.
Yeah.
Let's see. Coming to the line. Trying to hug the inside. And it will be 9-1. So that sets him ahead of his teammate right now. As they sit 5th and 6th. So impressive. It's his first race of the season 2 because he missed last week. And yeah, you spoke about, you were surprised how he had never made Q2. Well, here's the thing. He was in an Aston Martin last season and really struggled with that car. He had really good races, but never could put together the qualifying sessions. And now that he's able to be in a Haas, maybe the better car he belongs in, it seems like he's able to put together these qualifying sessions quite well.
I agree. The Aston Martin has always been a bit of a tricky car to handle when it comes to actual performance, etc. A Haas, he looks so much more comfortable in the Haas. It looks like he's got a lot more grip to work with, a lot more handling, aero, that sort of thing. He's doing well. He's doing well, and let's see what happens. Yeah. I mean, he's not on another lap now. In fact, he's coming into the pits, so that'll be it for the moment. He may come out in a bit.
Aaron Ocon on a lap right now. Let's watch the rest of this lap. This is a really dodgy lap from him. However, it's setting him at 52.1, which is going to go purple. He was having a lot of issues throughout the end of the middle sector. However, coming to the line, very twitchy in the wheel. DRS applied. ERS completely gone. Trying to clip the inside, trying to find some time. Gonna go 3rd place ahead of his teammate right now.
Well done to Aaron. That looked like a very twitchy lap, as you say. I can't remember what is he racing on. Is he on a wheel or a pad? I think he's on pad.
Yeah.
It's a solid lap on pad. He's done quite well with that. Yeah.
What about sorry, I was gonna say, what about I jumped the gun a little bit. What about Cromack? How about we get him in here, see if he wants an interview in for his bottom 5 exit. And Riles, his teammate, spins, and luckily he is still in this session. That got his whole front wing gone? Wow. That is a lot of trouble for Riles. Pluto completes a lap, by the way, 7th fastest. All right, Will, welcome along.
I will.
Hello.
All right, so we gotta talk. Second elimination in 2 weeks, Will. What is going on with your qualifyings recently, and how did you feel about the lap? Did it feel like it was a bad lap at all, or did you feel it was a good lap?
I didn't have any. I didn't miss any apexes. Didn't have any trouble sort of with car. I just got to end at 3 laps I did, and it was just off at pace completely.
Well, looking through with your teammate right now, 11th, he just broke his front wing. How are you and him feeling this season to not finish bottom of the constructors? I mean, yes, you went to Alpine at the end of the season, mind you. You weren't with them for the full season, but you know your team that you're with finished bottom of the constructors last season. How are you feeling about changing that this season?
Well, not much better. We're still in the bottom again. I'm surprised if we got many points. It just doesn't seem to be quick. It doesn't seem to have any pace. And apparently it's got a good straight line speed, but
It does.
I'd like someone to put my
practice
car.
I'll have to give you a setup for the upcoming races then, I guess. I found a really good setup for here, so I'll have to help you then. I should. I really should.
Yeah.
Morgan, any questions for Will? This
No
qualifying?
questions to the on the top of my head. Just good luck in the race. We'll see what you can do. Obviously, yeah, just have fun today. May chat to you later. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Oh. Thanks.
Well, I was
Need
gonna say good luck, and just because of lap 1, I was gonna say be careful of any stackers at the start. Polo got coming across the line, 2nd place. Quickly, one more thing. Chungus said there was rain. Is that true? Is there rain in the race?
No. I saw 8.
No.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
I can't remember there being any rain in it.
Okay. Chungus said rain. I don't know if he was trolling me or not, but hey, we'll wait and see. I couldn't load anyone else's stream up, so just wondering. All right. Enjoy, and have a good one.
Thanks.
Good luck. I hope for better. Well,
All there.
90 seconds remaining. I know, I feel bad for him because he switched Alpine. He was comfortable with that car by Austria, and now I think he's having a little setup trouble, and just my personal opinion with that, so hopefully we'll figure out something to help him out there to get him closer. Surfy, 3rd fastest, gets 2nd taken over by Jab, making it a Williams 1-2 on the board. Now let's watch where our bottom 5's at. Lajovic is currently on a lap, and now, coming to the middle sector, Aaron Ocon having trouble with joining back the session. He gets put down another place with QBR20. Joe, 41 thousandths between the top 4. He sneaks in a lap to get himself into Q3. Chungus, who retired, may be thinking about that once more, about how close it may be at the top of the leaderboard. Lajovic coming through now. Middle sector, 51.8. How about that? Aaron did a pretty good middle sector, and this could set Lajovic into Q3 for the first time. Surfy into Q3 for the first time with that lap. That gets him through. However, the next target is Lajovic. DRS applied, coming to the line. Can he get through for the first time? Lajovic goes top of the board! Finally! Better than 14th. How about into Q3? A4. Next up is gonna be a Williams coming back to the pit lane. After that, Lando, we're going to go on board with him. He's currently 15th, and with that lap that Lajovic said, he knocked Pluto out, and CJ's in the elimination zone almost. However, Lando needing to improve. Riles, Maddie, Rundle, and Pluto, 2 Aston Martins involved in that whole thing. Also, coming to the pit lane is Rundle. He's out of qualifying. Checkered flag. Jab, Surfy, checkered flag for them. Lando, 52-2. He's trying to set himself into Q3. He said there might be a possibility of it today. However, let's find out now in the next 10 seconds. Coming across the line is a Ferrari. Is that CJ? Yes, it is. He gets in. Pluto out right now. Next is Lando. Lando is barely in. Next across the line is Joseph. Can he get in? He will knock Lando out. Next will be Riles. Riles, can he get in? Riles misses out. Next is the Aston Martin of Pluto, though, who is currently down.
Oh my god, this is. It's coming to the pits now.
Oh.
What an insane Q2. Good lord.
I loved it.
So much going on. That was.
Rowdy says, who invited Lajovic? On top of the board for the first time that he gets into Q3.
I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. I don't believe you when you said Surfy wasn't making it into even into Q2. He's made it into Q3, and so is Logic. He's possibly his best qualifying so far. It just shows great things with what this season has to come.
Absolutely. And you know what? Both Astons out of qualifying in Q2. You know, the fact is, though, this field is really close, and this is supposed to be a car track. Considering it is supposed to be a car track with what the track type says, Aston Martin for being that close, give him credit for the effort at least with Pluto. I know Matty was a little farther back with his lap, but Pluto was still quite close to getting in. And see, even Chungus, who was fastest, got knocked down and had a 3/10 buffer to try to get in. My goodness, how close was the qualifying. Lajovic on top, and then it's Chungus, Joseph, Jab, Surfy running out the top 5. Joe, CJ, all within 2/10. Polo God, Gagi, and Aaron through. The 2 cousins going through. However, the 2 brothers don't go through, of Gagi and Matty. Out of qualifying, Lando, Pluto, Riles, Rundle, and Matty Cow.
What an amazing qualifying this is for a first commentary session. This is probably one of the best things I've ever seen so far.
Join us more often. That's all I gotta say. Whether you're watching or whether you're commentating, I don't care. Join us more often. That's all I gotta say. We'll go on board with the drivers to start their first Q3 lap. Then we'll get someone here. I'm gonna ask Rundle for an interview for his first start. Why not?
Why not? Why not indeed? Let's bring him in.
Wait to put him in. Wait to get him in.
Yeah. No.
Wait till what do you call it? After they set their laps. Speaking of the drivers into Q3, let's talk about them quickly. I'm gonna talk about what they're all trying to achieve and everything else like I had last week. Joseph F1 trying to get the first pole for AlphaTauri since Season 2, Round 7 Bahrain. AlphaTauri did have that consecutive Q3 streak going, ruined it at Baku. Then Joseph missed Q3 last week. He's in it this week. And Joseph is also trying for his first pole as well. Surfy, by the way, Haas got their first pole in this race back in Season 1, have had 2 poles since then. Now, trying for a first pole at Surfy, and for the first time, he is in a Q3 after having a best start previously of 16th. As for Jab, Jab is trying for a 3rd consecutive Williams pole, however, it'd be a 2nd of the last 3. Jab would get his 3rd pole at that point, and Jab has also tied the Sam's record of 15 consecutive Q3 appearances. Polo God also an important factor of this session. He got pole in Season 1, Season 2, he barely got out-qualified by his teammate. And then, Season 3, this race was not ran. However, he is in the Q3 once again. And that's 2 in a row for him. Also, before we get on to Joseph's laps, let's talk about Joe. He is through to Q3 for the first time this season. Also, last time he raced here at this track was back in Season 2 as a reserve. He got through to Q3. He's also looking for another pole. CJ, also looking for something with Ferrari. It'd be his first pole. Potential best start this week. If he gets better than what he did at Saudi, 17-1 for Joseph there. However, for CJ, it'd be Ferrari's first pole since Imola 6 or so rounds ago. Gagi got a front row last week, got a pole in Singapore, trying to look for number 2, trying to look for front row number 3. Chungus, 7 front row starts, trying to go for an 8th. It would tie the record. Joseph slides on that lap. However, for Chungus, it would be a 2nd pole in a row, Williams 3rd as well. Aaron Ocon has only had a total of 2 poles in this league, looking for a 3rd, and Lajovic never made Q3. 53-1 for Joseph in the middle sector. However, for Lajovic, though, it would be Red Bull's first pole since Joe at Austria. However, Joseph coming across the line to complete the first lap of Q3, 10-1, not the best of bankers. However, Surfy's going to try to better that. Surfy does, 8-9. We are looking at a potential pole of an 8-1, 8-2 if we keep this up. Polo God, also about to start a lap, by the way, because he invalidated the outlap. So, we'll go on board with his full lap here. As for Lajovic, though, Red Bull has had tons of poles in this league. So it's not like he would be breaking any team history with that. He'd be breaking driver history as CJ 8-2.
CJ pulls
Polo
out
guy.
an 8-2. Good lord.
Starts a lap. So does Jab. And let's see what they got in hand. Polo God, in those practice sessions, was setting a 16.8 in the first sector at his very best. 16.9 this time around. Trying to push the limits. Inside curb right there. Trying to find every bit of track he can to beat CJ's lap. 8.2 is currently the provisional pole. Lodjevic starts lap. Joe set on the time, just barely faster than Joseph. Now, Polo God coming through the middle sector. Fourth gear through here. Now down to third. Shifting back up. Pushing the limits as he can to try to find that time that will beat CJ. Next across the line will be Surfy, unless he's coming to the pit lane to abort it. Now, Polo God, that inside curb at turn 12 messed him up earlier last time. That was turn 12 where he spun in Q1. Now, purple through the middle. 51.7. He'll be next across the line. Polo God hugging this inside, trying to find the time. And DRS applied as he comes to the start-finish line. What's this gonna be? Can
Looking
Polo
good.
God go pole? It's gonna be 8-4.
Oh.
Barely off.
That's
Next
unfortunate.
across the line is Jab. Jab invalidated.
Invalidated.
You're right.
Where would he invalidate from? Oh, I think I'm possibly know where. He would have
Joe,
maybe.
sorry, cut in.
Yeah,
Joe
no,
goes faster. Go ahead.
what was I saying?
Jab's invalidation.
Yeah, jabs invalidation. It could have possibly happened halfway through sector 3. He may have put or exceeded track
Oh,
limits.
Guggy slides. Is he gonna go in the wall? Yes, he is. But he stays in the session.
Scared me there.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is so exciting. I can't even keep up. Who's out on a lap right now? Can't even tell. No, not Surfy.
Chungus is on a lap.
Polo.
Sorry.
Polo?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
69.
Polo's
Go
not
ahead.
on a lap.
Go ahead though.
Polo's
Oh,
not
you're
on a
not.
lap.
Okay. I thought he was
Sorry.
for a minute. However, Chungus has gone purple through the first sector. Don't know how true that could be because the game does mess up with that. However, 5th, then to 6th there. He's gone from 6th to 5th and then to 6th. And now down to 4th, clipping the inside curb right there. URS, you could just see how much it is wasted throughout these qualifying laps. And right now, as Pole sets an 8.2, that was the fastest that anybody did in the one-shot qualifying sessions that we saw during the practices. However, can Chungus better that? 51.7 through the middle sector as he completes the lap. He's looking for a second pole in a row, an 8th front row start, which would be most all time, which would tie it. Coming across the line, can he knock CJ off pole? Here he goes, 8-4. Splits CJ and Polo though.
It looks
And
like a good
well-
lineup so far. A lot of drivers have been losing time in that final sector. I don't know where it's happening. It's possibly coming out of the first turn in sector 3. That's where they're losing it. It just looks like there's not enough grip around that corner, or whatever lines they're taking. There doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be enough grip. I don't know what what your thoughts are, Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was just giving Rundle an invite. Surfy, some reason I think just backed off of that lap that he was gonna go for. So I don't know why that was.
5/10 slower
Yeah, we'll
into
try-
into sector 1. It's possible he's missed his DRS zone or something.
Here's Rundle. There he is.
Here he is.
Welcome along.
Afternoon. How are we doing?
Good afternoon. Doing good. So, out of qualifying in Q2, you made it through in your first start. That's not too bad to have. However, this field is close. And your car that would be the highest for reserving would be McLaren. And you're 2 cars down. And you still stay yourself in a Q2 having a chance at Q3. How do you feel out there and how prepared are you for this race?
Yeah, no, I'm not particularly prepared at all. But it was just good to be out on track. I only did a used run in Q2, so I'm happy to be where I am. 14th, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, excited.
What's the expectation with this field being so close and starting in the midfield? I mean, you've raced with quite a few of these guys. Some of these guys, it's been quite a while. Some of these guys you never have. What's the feeling?
Just keep it clean, have a good race, make as many laps as I can, and if I can score points, then I'll take it. It's a really competitive grid. Everyone's really close, so I have no idea what to expect. Just have a bit of fun.
Good luck. Morgan, you have any questions?
Nope, no questions. As you said, Rundle, good luck. Definitely have fun out there. It'll be a tough challenge. But we'll have fun. Enjoy yourself. And
Cheers, boys.
Good luck.
good luck, Rundle.
3 minutes left of this qualifying session. I can tell you're getting nervous right there at Rundle. I'm getting nervous for this rest of the qualifying session with the way we're going at this rate. Because, yeah, CJ might be on pole, but we still saw a close Q2. Don't know how hard CJ was trying or wasn't trying there in Q2 to trying to push the limits. However, that lap he set got him almost 2 tenths out of the rest of the field. I'm sure someone is hiding something. And this reminds me of Austria, to where Kam was hiding something there at the end. Got himself up to the front row. I think CJ was still on pole in preseason, this was. But Kam was within 29 thousandths. Rest of the field about 3 tenths behind. I think we might see something similar here. Or if we do not, then at this rate, how close Q2 was, I'm interested to see what a couple drivers like Lojovic, Goggy, Aaron, anyone could pull out. You just never know what can happen. Next to start a lap, and now starting a lap, is Joe. Coming through turn 1 now, trying to push the limits, trying to push on the curbs. Inside curb here at turn 2, trying to find the time. 4th gear, 5th gear, just a little bit of a slide for Joe. Trying to find the amount of lap time he can find to set himself on pole. Right now, he'd be 7th. However, coming to the first sector, 3/10 of an improvement. Could put him right behind Lojovic. However, he's got to continue to improve. 16.9 that was. Now, cars are coming across the line to start their final flying laps. Joe, turn 5, 6, and now we're going to go through 7 with 5th gear. Yellow flags in the final sector. That is for someone starting a lap, but the 4th gear is applied. Now down to 3rd. Up the gear again to 4th. And now, shifting up, trying to find time, trying to break as late as possible, and staying committed throughout the lap, and trying to find more time. Now, middle sector, we'll see how much time he's found this time. 5 tenths though. This would set him right around Surfy. However, would be a good start for him in that Mercedes. It is his first start in Q3 this season. I almost wanted to say of the season. However, missed preseason, made round 1. In round 2, he's going to set himself 4th. He improved a lot in that final sector.
Well, who was that? Joe. Well done, Joe. Very good lap. He took himself in 4th between Polo and Jab. Got my eye on Aaron. I had a look at him. He's coming through end of second sector now.
Some improvements. Some improvements. Some starting.
Middle
some
sector.
laps starting. Go ahead.
Middle sector 2 is purple. He's coming up to the line. DRS is open. Little to no ERS deployment. Goes 4th. Beats
bad.
Joe in the time. That's not bad at all. Not bad.
Polo God went 2nd. There was an improvement, I believe, by Joseph or Jab. Somebody just improved there. However, it was Jab next. Jab goes to 3rd. Also an improvement from Surfy and Lojovic. Lojovic improved. This field is still close. However, CJ's going to go faster, but not by a whole lot. He improves 8-2. Gagi will cross the line next for him, trying to find as much time he can. He's not settled at 2nd last weekend qualifying, 51.7. He's shown a lot of pace so far this weekend. He's my surprise pick. Can he surprise at the last moment of qualifying? Gagi trying to beat an 8-2. Coming across the line. Joe says that's it. Gagi crossing the line now. Is it going to be pole? No, it's going to be an 8-4. Next across the line behind that is going to be Joseph. Joseph crosses the line. He is just still 10th. Next across the line is Lojovic. Can Lojovic go any faster? No, he cannot. Chungus couldn't go any faster. Next to the pit lanes, Polo. Jab on an in-lap. Aaron on an in-lap. And Surfy on an in-lap.
Surfy's on an in-lap.
That is it.
That's
was
it.
Very anticlimactic for that one.
That is actually. I thought there'd be a lot more. Not what's the word? I thought there'd be some unfamiliar names at the top there, so Logivic and Surfy. They look pretty strong. I'm unlucky for Joseph as well, actually. Down right at the bottom, 10th there. He seemed like he could have pushed the boat out a bit more. But congrats to CJ for pole. Very good lap.
First pole.
First pole, did you say?
Yeah, it is his first. Congrats to CJ.
Even better. Well done to CJ. Well done. And that's it for qualifying, it seems. Unless there's anything else.
No, don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Just making
that's
sure
it.
at the time to ready up. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just gonna ping the drivers on our ready up time.
Whew.
And there's your qualifying. Go through the lineup, Morgan.
So we've got who we got? We got CJ on top with a 108.2. Polo, very good lap from him. 1 minute 8.3. Then you got Jab, Blue Goggy, Chungus, Aaron with an okay lap. He could have gone a bit quicker, I think, but I'm not driving. So we've then got Joe in 7th, Logivic with very good 8th, Surfy with a very good 9th as well. Congrats to both of them. And we got Joseph. Very, very good. It's shaping up to be a very good race, this, Ryan, I think.
I agree. I very much agree. And the drivers have been informed about the time to ready up. They get a good 90 seconds, I'd say. Now, since they waited a little bit to ready up, I think it's just a good 60 seconds. But yeah, they have to wait till 12:54, 5:54 UK time. So there you go. So they get a good 60 seconds then while they load in. I think that's not bad.
Yeah,
Usually
not bad.
it's supposed to be an estimate of 90, but I try to leave it at the end of Q3 to when to ready up. So it's not bad. They have a decent bit of time. We have a decent time to talk about that qualifying session a little bit. You know, I know there's going to be the jump to conclusion about CJ being too fast, but I sort of agree. I sort of, if true, because the track type does show this is supposed to be a car track, I sort of would say that may be part of it too. And I don't want to put any excuses, but that's the only excuse I can put for how he is.
Yeah.
Oof. A little early
it's-
there. Ready up.
What happened there?
I think someone readied up a little early.
Oh no!
Just 10 seconds there. Oh, jeez.
There you go. One moment. Hang on. There we go. Sorry, Ryan. One moment. Had to get dinner. One moment. Right. Okay. There we go. Right. I'm all ready. Here we go. Set for the race.
Oh,
Sorry.
again.
Here we go. Yes.
Just close enough to 60 seconds, I guess, right? You know?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, what time is it? It's 54.
Now it's 54.
Now it's
but, yeah.
54.
They said that there was no rain, so I'm going to take it that way, that there is no rain.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's rain coming.
It does look like there's some clouds, but I don't think there's any rain. Yeah, I don't think so. Usually, for our races, we go over the ones to watch on the formation lap, and we go over the tires. First, let's go over the tires before we get any favorites going. Soft tires for Thrasher. Only 3 guys on the hards. That's Joseph, Lando, and Pluto. That's very interesting, considering the rest of the field's on mediums. The strategy here should be in mediums, 2 hards strategy easily, if not hard medium, the reverse strategy of that. Thrasher could be going for a 2-stop, which is very interesting, or trying a very bold 1-stop, which I doubt is going to work. The pit stop loss time here is a good 21-ish seconds, so we'll make sure we focus on that. However, let's go over our favorites. How can you not include CJ in the favorites, right? You know, the qualifying lap that he set suggests that he could be too fast for the Ferrari, and I know people are going to be talking about it. However, who do you move down at that point? Yeah, who do you move down at that point? Well, with CJ, though, it's only race time to figure that out. It's only race time to show at that point. Is his race pace the same as his qualifying pace? Or is his one-lap pace exaggerated? Behind that, I'm also going to go with the favorite of Logivic. Logivic is also in a decent car, and this is supposed to be a car track. Considering how he's performed so far in qualifying and throughout practicing this weekend, Logivic has a good chance to maybe score a podium if things get crazy, potentially be in the top 5, have good pace, I mean, what better can you ask for from Logivic with the way this ended up? Morgan, 2 favorites for this race, different than the ones I chose.
That's pretty difficult, and I would say, for me, Aaron is on top of my favourites. He's looking rather strong. He's got a lot of potential starting on the mediums. That seems like a good strategy. We've then got, I think, Surfy as well. You've seemed to given him a lot of pep and things for this, but he seems really good.
Here we go. Waiting now on the 5 red lights to come upon us here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Waiting for the drivers to rev it up. Here we go. And it's lights out and away we go. CJ gets off the line pretty well. A little bit of dancing around through the midfield. How about Gagi splitting his way through already to 2nd place? Already getting alongside Jab, but gonna challenge that. Jab's gonna challenge down the inside once again. Side by side at turn 2, keeping it clean. A little bit of a stack up in the back of the field, but they avoid trouble. Polo God slides in around. He's off. He's definitely got damage. That's an issue with the opening laps for Polo God.
Yeah,
Once again at Brazil, trouble spikes him. Now, coming through, turn 4, CJ leading by 5/10, and he's got a big train behind him. Moves being made through the midfield. Rundle, Aaron, side by side. This is going to be tough into this corner. Joseph having to let legal overtakes through, and now collision. Com is around. It's a disaster. Sam's involved.
That's
There's
unfortunate.
a bunch of damage.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Yes,
Good.
loads of damage around the field here. There's going to be a lot of people in. I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car or something. As another touch
At least a
at the
virtual.
back with Aaron and Will going into the middle of sector 2. Unlucky for Aaron, he's lost 10 places there. Surfy has done so well. He's gone up from 9th to 5th in that lap. He's done very well.
Rundle in top 10 too. Pluto as well. CJ fastest lap. Here we go. Pit lane.
Pit lane now. Chris, come
Oh
in.
dear. Well, luckily Joseph and Sam didn't get any damage. I was surprised Joseph didn't, but I think that collision started with Joseph, Com, Aaron around that area. However, Aaron, Thrasher, Polo God, all under the pit lane. Just more trouble to them. Thrasher's just had an unlucky start to the season. He had a DNF in the opening lap in Austria in preseason. Mexico, he had trouble from the start of the race. And now, again, the same thing for him here.
Thrasher, tyre-wise, Thrasher doesn't seem to have lost much. It seemed odd for him to start on the soft tyre, but moving on to the medium, he might have a lot more potential on that tyre. We'll have to see what he's doing. Let's move to the front of the field. Let's see what's going on there. I'd say a close battle between Pluto and Rundle.
Well,
Yeah, they're coming.
yeah, you're right. Whoa!
Rundle's on the outside. He's going up to the line. He's going to come out on turn 1. Let's see. Rundle's in front, going into turn 1. That's very, very good racing there.
We've
Very
also
slow.
got a DRS train following behind, and another thing as well as Gagi set the fastest lap is that CJ has a train behind him that's hungry, full of 7 cars, and if Jab can keep him within DRS, I don't think CJ will get away. That's going to be the big thing, I think, in this race. CJ just can't get out of DRS from the thick of things now, as DRS did get enabled this lap, but if he can, that may be race over unless there's a safety car. That will be the big factor in deciding this race. However, that top 7 still within a DRS train, so they have equal opportunity just as much as these guys do. However, just like Polo got spin on lap 1, if there's something that happens to this pack, that's exactly what eliminates 1, 2, maybe if not more of them. And they've got a little pack forming behind that with Rundle all the way to Riles in 8th to 12th. So that will be one to watch out for. Chat, 3 laps in, give us your predictions for this race. We want to know who's looking good, who's not looking good after those laps. Let's look at the positions gained, actually, before we look at any picks from the chat. 4 places for Surfy, 2 for Chungus, 6 for Rundle, 3 for Pluto, 7 for Com, 4 for Matty Cow. Com into the pit lane. He may have picked up more damage or had damage from the opening lap and couldn't handle it. However, Jab is DRS now, this time down to turn 4, cannot make a move. He's just not close enough.
Who's like, there was Jab, wasn't it? Yeah, Jab seems to be losing time on CJ there. He's looking for five tenths.
Not a whole lot.
Not much. It's a few hundreds here and there, but it will affect
Yeah.
that DRS train, especially for CJ, because that will give him a bit more leeway room. Jab getting pretty close there. I saw back into the 400s, 4/10, sorry, 4/10. Still getting close. We're on lap 4, coming into lap 5. DRS might help Jab here. 3/10 now. Here he goes. Let's
Here we
see
go.
what happens going into turn 1.
Jab. Is he making a move now? DRS implied. Here we go. Thinking of it. Making CJ at least think as he goes a little bit of a wide line at turn 1. Gonna compromise his turn 2. Jab's now in the back of him. This is gonna get close for the lead. Now on the run to turn 4. DRS for Jab. Overtaking Gage. This is his opportunity to take the lead. He's gonna go to the inside line now to take the lead. Side by side. Jab getting ahead. That's the first lead change of this race.
That's really good racing by Jab there.
Behind that, Lando and Pluto. Sorry, this battle's not done behind. Pluto getting back ahead. Lando ran wide there, and that's a position between those guys. That's for the first position of the hard runners.
Yes, so much going on in this race so far. We got position change from the lead. CJ doing well to keep on the back of Jab. What else is going on? Will's just come out of the pits. It's all going on.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. I can't keep up. It's the life
Speaking of keeping up in the back of people as well, you spoke about Jeb. How about Joe as well, who's not fully on the back of Surfy right now? In this moment, it's lost some DRS. He's got Lajovic to follow. Could have Rundle catch. CJ down the inside right now for the lead. Couldn't think of it though fully. He had to back off right there, and he's going to have the run to turn 3 now. Going to be on the back of Jeb, challenging for this lead. DRS open, and now, which way does he go? Left side or right side? He thinks of left, but he goes right. And now around the outside, he has to follow this. Going to be side by side, going to slow them down, but CJ completes the move around the outside.
Again, some really, really good racing between these two. They're keeping it very fair. It looks there's so much, like I said, so much going on.
Sorry, Pluto ran in the back of Lando right there in a turn 5 and 6. It was just so close between them. I thought there could have been a collision, but luckily, those two drivers are pretty talented to keep collision from happening.
They're very, very good. Very close racing in between everyone. The DRS train looks like it's split from 7 cars to 5, I think.
Yeah.
Surfy giving a bit more of a gap to Joe there. We've got...
Joe's back in DRS now.
What other DRS trains are there? There's the one with Lando to...
Pluto, yep.
Is it Lando to Pluto, I think?
Yeah, right there.
It looks like there's
He's
another
lost time to
position
Rundle.
change as well, if I'm right in thinking. I'm sure I saw something there.
Well,
Maybe
what
not.
I do see is, I want to speak about Polo and Aaron's race for a minute. They got involved in that lap 1 accident. Look where they are on the full track map. They are at, look at that sector 2 to 3 split. Coming through where it says 2 right now is the race leaders. It's quite tight right there with that gap. I mean, just one mistake, one more spin, they could be a lap down. And, you know, Thrasher, Com, Will, Polo, Aaron, all right near each other. All in a little battle to some extent. Maybe a battle to not get a lap down at this point. But, you know, they're ahead of everybody with the pit stops and everything. So they're not too worried, especially Aaron, who's on the hards. And, you know, at this rate, Paulo, who started on the mediums, could be going medium, medium soft, or medium, medium hard still. Who knows? Who knows what the case is? Because the thing is, he's still on the same tires as he was in the start. Trouble on lap 1 meant that he had to be on the back foot, and that's exactly what that does. Look at the train at the front to look at the train at the back of the field. You know, that's the exact way things can go, and it's not pretty for them.
No, it's not.
You know, I think Sam's thing that he said, and I think others have said it too. Anyone can win this race. Right now, anyone in the top 7 has a chance to win this race. As we're about to be, what, 5th of the way in, kind of, close enough to it.
Ooh, yeah, about 5th of the way in so far, lap 8. I'd say it looks pretty close between the two two sides. The DRS train has now gone up to, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
7.
cars for the
Top 7 there. Yeah, Rundle is broken away from Lando, and Rundle's not in this front pack, where Lando's trying to break away from Pluto now. But speaking of the whole breakaway, we had Joe break away from Surfy earlier. That all happened. However, because of this pack, how close they are, the battling at the front, you know, these guys, third, fourth, all have to be careful. It's backed them up into Joe and Lodgevic now. Joe and Lodgevic, they have an equal chance now. We're looking at lap 9, where Jab is still in the back of CJ. By the way, CJ has ERS nearly 100%, nearly fully charged right there. He's doing a good job conserving this battery and just waiting for the right time to use it. However, down this straight, turn 4, not even close enough yet.
No, it's all somewhat spreading apart just a little bit. There's still lots of action going on between the drivers, but we're in that phase where it's settling in. Everyone is understanding where everyone needs to be, and you've got that sort of situation. It looked like is there a car gone off? Joe's gone off.
That is.
Joe's gone
It
off.
is, and I was just about to talk about the fact that he running in the top 10 is a good thing for him because of that 3-second he has today. Now he's around and still sliding almost in front of Sam. Luckily, no damage to any car there. However, a little slide out of the final corner is going to back CJ up into Jab here, and Jab is close enough if you could just turn that battery on for a split second to maybe make a move by turn 1. However, he's just not close enough. It might be a late dive if it's anything. Can't do so. It'd cause a collision.
Look at Joe there, spinning at that corner. Well, he's probably going to take it easy for a few laps.
However, Jab is not going to give this up, though. Overtaking Gage for a moment on the back of CJ, though, and turn 3 now in the run to turn 4. Cannot do anything right there.
God, this is so exciting. I can't even think. Jab keeping a decent gap between CJ now. He's still very close, keeping it very tight between the rear of CJ. Like I was saying, unlucky for Joe. Oh, what's happened there? Multiple warnings.
Time penalty. Thrasher.
Time penalty.
The first
for
one.
Thrasher. That's unfortunate for Thrasher as well. It's so early on in the race. These things, you know, when you're thinking about so much that's happened, you've got so much more to think about. You don't want that extra thing clinging on. Clinging on, I mean. Clinging on. My mistake. Here comes Jab.
Yeah, and
looks like maybe. No.
And the thing with Thrasher is that's the first penalty out of anybody. You got to be considering these top 6 with how close they've been. They might have at least one warning by now. With the way things are shaping up, I think the tricky part for track limits is definitely turn 2, turn 3, and now on this run to turn 4. You could even say turn 6 and 7 right up there, up here in a moment, as we'll get to it. CJ Jab just close once again. No moves being made. No moves expected to be made when, you know, you're trying to hook yourself up into pit stop range here. I mean, I'm sure they'll be petting in the next 5, 10 laps. This race is going by really quickly, I must say, with how things have gone. So, you know, calm penalty there. There you go. Yeah. So things going by really quickly. That's how quick things can change, and that's the point of what we were saying too. You know, with the penalties, we've got 2 by lap 11. Not too bad. And the thing with those penalties, and the thing in general that I was getting at, was about things are happening so quick right now in this race. You just don't know. Yellow flags. That's Sam. He's around. And that's the second time that he's had trouble to start this race. However, Jab down the inside, thinking about it, could not get the move done right there. But with how fast things are going, before the pit stops, does Jab want to be ahead? Does Jab want to be behind? 21 seconds is at pit stop range. So with Sam's spin, he is outside of pit stop range. However, Jab, still trying a move on CJ, cannot get close enough by turn 4. And also, another thing to mention is Jab is in between 2 people right here who have never won a race in URS. Chungus, 5 podiums to his name. CJ, a best finish of 10th twice by CJ with that best finish.
Wow, so CJ's really high up there.
For his previous results, yeah.
Yeah, showing great potential with what he's got, sticking very very well to the ground. Jab's getting very close again. Got to about two tenths there. I don't think he's going to be able to come back at him this time.
Yeah, I don't think Surfy's going to get back to this pack unless he just does what he can to gain enough time or hope they battle, because he's lost URS now with his gap to Goggy, and Goggy could do the same to Chungus if we don't get close enough here in the next couple of moments. However, that backing up from just avoiding each other and breaking early enough just closes Goggy back up, and look what that does. URS down to turn 4. Surfy, though, doesn't. He just needs that same thing Goggy had where they just back each other up and have that same thing happen each time to where it closes you back up. Lodjevic also within that same DRS train as Surfy, in that same area. He needs them to back up too. You know, you have to break early to avoid hitting people, and that's what Jab and Chungus are doing with CJ right now. They know if they break late enough, they're gonna hit him, they're gonna cause a collision, it's gonna go bad. But the more they break early, when they get close enough to each other, the more it closes Surfy and Lodjevic back up, and I think that's what they got, and that's what they need.
Yeah, it's true. Another warning for 3 seconds for Aaron there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, 12 last week.
Sorry?
Yeah, 12 seconds last week.
Yep, 12 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, he did. It's not good for him.
No,
Hopefully he
that's-
improves on it this week. But I'm kidding, Aaron. I do hope he does improve on it, because
We love you, man.
if there is a safety car at any point, he's going to close up to this pack and still have that 3 second in mind. And speaking of in mind, front 2,
That one coming
close
up.
in mind.
Wells and
Yeah.
Pluto.
Oh, you're right. Yep, 9th place. Pluto, I don't think that's URS. Nope, he does. Never mind, sorry. He just lost that second range right there, so yeah. What else still on this train? Maddie in this train, Rowdy. You know, it's going to be hard to get used to Maddie's name. Maddie Cow.
Matty
I
Cow, yeah.
couldn't. I know, I couldn't help that. It was a little funny. I know other people said it, but I want that Maddie Momo 3 back.
I like
was
his
better.
other name. His other name is better, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta put that in the Discord that he changed his gamer tag. I always make note of it.
Again, nothing really going on up front. It just seems to still be a bit,
Oh,
still
a little
close.
wide there at the final corner for Jab and CJ both.
Brian, have you also noticed that it's getting a bit darker? It
Yeah,
does seem
and
to be more
that
overcast.
may be what Chungus was talking about with rain. Will said he didn't see any rain, he thought, so I don't know. If there is any, it'll likely be end of the race then. And that could definitely spice things up if that's the case. Don't know if it will be, but just a thought to put out there, you know? And we're almost halfway. We're almost at the pit stop range too. These guys are extending a little more than I thought most of them would, because I thought at least one person would have pitted by now to try for the undercut. I'm not sure how the undercut is around here, but I can tell you right now though, there's gonna be, if no safety cars, there's gonna be someone who comes out of the pit lane out of turn 3 and is at least gonna be side by side with someone. CJ slides, I think. Yes, he does. Look at this. Now Jab's closed up for the back of his car to the race lead.
That's potentially got another chance here, going into the sector 3. Still keeping 2 to 3 tenths behind, but he's getting very close. Look at that, so close to the back of CJ there.
That slide really compromised him. CJ was pulling away too. Well, that'll happen. And the thing about that dark cloud is, it will, if it gets too cloudy, it will affect the way these cars handle. You will, I mean, I thought of the one race in, I believe it was GSR had tier 3 on last game. It was so overcast. And here we go, first pit stop is Goggy, but it was so overcast to the point where it was almost like you were taking it at a boat speed with how was it China, that one race I had. If it gets cloudy, oh, Matty Momo, speeding in the pit lane, there you go.
5 seconds.
That is the first speeding penalty. You know, the thing with
Unlucky.
the cloudiness is if it gets too cloudy, the speed will die down a little. Maybe not a
It
lot, but
will.
it'll die down. China's a track to where that happened even worse with the way the tires were getting. And I think the thing is, with CJ and Jab's tires, you can just see them wearing off right now. Look at how much Jab is closed. Look at Chungus closing to the back of his teammate.
Chungus as
All
well,
this
yeah.
happening with pit stops in mind. Maddie, who pitted right there, comes out 17th, just ahead of Thrasher, and also pitting there was Blue Goggy, coming out right ahead of his teammate. That's Perfect
Yeah, I
for him.
saw that. Going onto the straight coming out of turn 3, looked like they
And-
could have. It was very close between them two.
Here we
There's
go.
only 5/10. CJ in. CJ's in. Let's
And
see
the
what
thing
happens.
is, he used some of his ERS though. The thing is, he could have actually used more on that lap. Surfy's and Logivic's into. The why I say he could have used more is that this track you save so much ERS into the pit lane and coming out of it. He's going to be at full battery by the time he engages the limiter. But you got to think about the way the pit lane is. It's like a chicane. So the way it's shaped, he's gonna. Yeah, look at this. 93, 94. Actually, maybe not as much as I thought he'd save. Didn't save as much.
to
But the
97
thing is,
now.
you save 25 to 30% in the pit lane. That is how much you save. He's just taking
Back
it
up
at
to
snail
100.
speed. Look at this. Joseph, Surfy, out of the pit lane. Joseph trying to duck alongside, side by side for position. CJ having to duck inside of him, or behind him. And yeah, that hit from Goggy gets him in position while Kam has a penalty. I was shocked he didn't use more URS, and you bet Jab and Chungus will now.
Oh, Jab and Chungus are going to storm away, I think. Oh, who's
Look at this, Goggy's fresher
Someone's
tires
spun.
down the inside. That's Aaron who spun. Now, side by side between Goggy and Chungus. This is for the Nat race lead. Goggy around the outside line in Sector 2. You don't usually see a move there. How about that?
What an
Into the pit lane
amazing
comes
move.
Jab. And Jab, 68% on that battery. He's going to be fully charged when he comes out. That is exactly what I was saying by CJ. He should have used a little bit more URS. He did perfect with it because, you know what, he's already at full battery. But the thing is, he would have just been slightly better being in that train. If he used a little bit more, it would have been maybe big dividend to where how close him and Goggy were to who comes out where. Now we're going to watch this battle at Rundle and Lando to see if any overtakes get done. However, we don't see any. Now, we'll watch Jab coming out of the pit lane. Will he be ahead of Joseph and Goggy after this overcut? Little slide of the pit lane just for a moment, trying to avoid spinning. However, Joseph will have DRS by the time that Jab continues to warm up his tires. So, this will mean a little DRS train, while Jab, net leader.
This is some brilliant racing going into the middle point of the race. It's not everyone has pitted. It's the 50-50 split of drivers who are, well, not 50-50, 40,
Oh,
60.
Goggy's
Oh,
getting
it's a
desperate and
spin!
Joseph's around. I think Joseph was already sliding and Goggy just helped him around a little bit. Into the pit lane is Chungus.
Chungus comes in.
As we get cloudy, we get crazy.
See, it's overcast weather. It affects the drivers visually and physically. It throws them off their lines and makes them contradict
into.
themselves.
And a spin for Calm. That's Calm around in Sector 3. And that is just trouble to his race continuing. Also, Chungus is coming out of the pit lane now. He's going to be side by side, I think, with Jab on exit. Here's Chungus on the left side. Where's he going to be? Side by side with Jab out of the pit lane. The two teammates. Which one backs off? Chungus does.
Chungus backs off. Jab in front. I was concerned there. That was really close.
Rowdy's going to come out behind Riles as well, so that's not too bad for him. He'll probably be around the points running positions once it all cycles out, because you still have Lando, Pluto yet to pit. They're on hards. Joseph, by the way, pitted. He was on hards. We have Goggy right in the back of Jab now. You can just see the desperation for Goggy to get by right here. He's thinking about it every chance he gets, just because he knows he has the pace. Chungus has to warm up the tires. That's Chungus, apologies. But that is the difference that it makes, because he knows he can run down Jab. But the gap is putting him outside of DRS.
Again, well done with the names there, Ryan. That was very, very good.
Yeah, I'm not perfect either. Here
Thought I
comes
one-upped
Goggy.
you there.
Which way? Inside
Oh,
line on Chungus
good job.
before turn 1. Jab, fastest lap. Now Goggy gets through cleanly.
Well done to Goggy there. That was a very good overtake. Overtaking on the
Rundle.
inside. Not the
Yeah, it
inside
was.
there.
Pluto and Rundle trade spots. Chungus having DRS down to turn 4. Trying to defend
Whoa.
CJ while trying to overtake Goggy. Little bit of dancing right there on the straight. However, Goggy staying ahead. Chungus going to be side by side with CJ for a moment. CJ sticking his nose in there. Couldn't think too much of it because it could have caused a collision.
This is fantastic.
Wow.
Why haven't I commentated more? Just watching this race.
Why don't you watch more? Come on, watch
I
more.
know, I need to do more. Lando, Pluto, Rundle, and Sam still need to pit. They are about, what would I say? About, how far? 55%, 60% into this race.
Yeah, Polo also, by the way, in those mediums are on a similar stint that Rundle and Polo are, but Pluto pits. Sorry to cut in.
No worries. Pluto in the pits now. Who else will join him? Let's see. Maybe Sam?
Might be
Yep,
Sam.
Sam's
Yep,
coming
he
in.
is. Yep.
Sam's coming in.
So he extended. Maybe thinking of a safety car, maybe hoping for something. I think Lando's maybe hoping for something because he sees how cloudy it is. And if Chungus was right about the fact that there could be rain, that may be what Lando's waiting for. However, how long can you go on those hards? You know, GSR around here for me, about 30 laps in the hards. About. Not 30 laps, but about. And
Yeah.
they were 60-something% at the end. I know you remember that race because you messed up your setup in that one. But that is exactly what the difference does. Now, sorry, Pluto and Riles side by
Pluto
side
and
in the
Ri-
pit lane. Yup, Pluto
They're
ahead.
still side by-
But
still
Riles is going to
side by
fight this
side.
back. Holy cow. Into turn 6. Riles has to back out of that one. Good battling between these two. These two go back 3 years ago to all their battling.
Bringing history to this.
Yeah, right? No, with Lando's tires, I remember that race. You messed up the setup. It was still a tough race for you, but okay, Lando's in. Never mind. We can't talk about it too much more. But the thing with him is, I do think he could have extended longer, while Rundle doesn't. He pits. Everybody's
Pits as
in.
well. Everyone's
in
coming
this
in.
race.
It's Jab and Goggy who are 1 and 2.
Oh, there was their move. I think that is CJ. It is side by
CJ.
side. Turn 1. Now turn 2. Chungus going ahead at turn 2. CJ was faster that final sector with DRS. He set a purple sector 3. Now, onto the soft tires Rundle is, while Lando's on the medium. They exit, while CJ is trying to get on Chungus. Chungus with a little late move right there, but stays ahead. And now it's going to be Goggy's opportunity to run jab down for DRS. 1.3 is that gap.
Joseph with the fastest lap in 1 minute 10. Oh, sector 2.
Yellow flags.
What's happened?
I think that is calm. He's broken his front wing.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
It's just more trouble for him.
so much. This is just not good. Jab increasing
Oh,
the gap between him and Goggy. 1.2 seconds now.
I'm questioning what he just did right there. That was a Kimi Räikkönen type of move, but I couldn't tell if that was meant or not with what happened to Calm there. He just slid off the road. Is he going to be into retiring the pit lane this lap? If that is the case,
It's possible.
I
He's
sorta
coming
wonder.
in.
I think it is.
I think that's it for Calm there.
Yeah. If that was the way he was
Yeah.
sliding, yep, that's our first retirement. Here we go. Move for third place now. CJ gets ahead. While Surfy's also waiting in the wings. Don't count him out of this. Yeah, sorry, yellow flags. That is Thrasher around, and that was near that battle with Aaron while he picked up a penalty. So that just puts more trouble to their race. However, the battle for third is still on. Surfy's trying on the back of Chungus for what would be a first podium for him, and CJ's trying to hold on for what would be a first podium for him if this race continues the way it's at.
Yeah, very close between CJ and Surfy there. Surfy is getting pretty close again, I saw. Got to 1/10.
okay.
Very close between them two. What else is going on? No, we'll stick. I think we'll stick.
I will say, just to put this out there, even though the gap between the lead is 1.5, 2/10 Dougie's lost. One retirement only in this race. Mexico had the most amount of finishers in the U.S. Not trying to jinx it, I'm sure I will. 19 finishers as we stand right now. 17 in Mexico was a record-breaking amount. And the most the least DNFs at 2. So we're only at 1 right now. Here we go. Surfy on the back of Chungus. More straight line speed for that Haas. He's going to think about staying in line. He's just waiting for the right opportunity, and he knows if battling in Sector 2, Dougie showed that earlier, if battling in Sector 2, it can slow you down. And you know what? It kind of did. That gap is at 1.5 now. That gap is just changing constantly for its many reasons. Rowdy and Riles. Riles trying to defend that 9th place position. Rowdy behind, can't make the move. However, Rundle is on those fresher, soft tires. Can he make those soft tires last to the end?
It's a bold strategy. I would have said he should have maybe gone on. What was he on before? Was he on hards or was he on mediums?
Mediums.
I think he was on mediums.
Yep.
I think he should have gone on to the hards. The soft is. I think
he would have had to pit earlier for it.
Sorry.
He would have had to pit earlier for it, in my opinion, because he extended 21 laps. You know, why not try it? Why not try it? You know, I
That's
see
true.
it, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Aaron gets another time penalty.
Could
9
he?
seconds.
Could Rundle be looking for rain possibly in the final few laps?
I don't know. Like Chungus said, rain, and you know, maybe he was joking, maybe he wasn't, but with how cloudy it's got, I still wouldn't count it out. Rowdy, Riles, side by side, turn 1 and 2 now. Riles having to back out. Rundle trying to make the move, sliding his tires though in the process. The thing about this rain, if it were to happen, hold on, Rundle, AlphaTauri straight line speed could have been 2 and 1.
There it
may
is.
be down the inside, side by side, Rowdy off the road, and now enters back on. It was 2 and 1 for him. Matty on Will gets the move done. Yeah, the thing about if there is potential rain, just to bring in my thought, is that sliding. Is that Austria last season, you know, the game said no rain, nothing expected. All right, whatever. Well, it's rained in like the last 8 or 9 laps though, and it was intermediate, so that is always a big question to ask.
Yeah, it's
Thrasher.
always got to be on your mind.
Go.
There's someone spun.
That is Thrasher.
Spun on the exit
Unfortunate.
of 10-2.
Go ahead with what you're gonna say. You were gonna say something about the rain, and I'm curious about it. We don't know if there's rain. That's the thing, though. So that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You've always got to be aware of it. Even if it doesn't happen, there's always a chance that there could be rain. And especially with this game, you've got to think that it's approximate. You don't know what's going to come. It's not preset.
Right.
You've always got that option. Will's in the pits, by the way. Will's going to.
Yeah, he is. I see that. That was 21 laps on that stint of mediums. Aaron on 23 lap hards, by the way, while Polo God is trying to still get a points finish after his troubles. 24 laps in the mediums. That is a really long stint. He's probably trying for the softs like Rundle did, and that could really work. However, will it get him points? Pluto and Lando. Lando went off there, and that has gifted Pluto 7th place in this race, and now he's on the run to get Lajovic for 6th.
He's got 2 seconds between him and Lajovic. It's possible he can catch up to Lajovic in that time. He's got fresh and medium.
Oh, hold on, here we
tires.
go. CJ for 2nd place in this race, down the inside, late on the brakes, gets the move done. Goggy trying to switch this one back, and now out of turn 2 and into turn 3, CJ's got the place. However, it's going to continue to lose them time to jab, and now with that battery applied for CJ, he is down to 30%.
Some really, really good racing between these two.
Well, Chromac
Gog-
penalty. I'm going to have to be right back, so take over.
I'm commentating now fully. Oh my god, here we go. Sector 2, there's yellow flag in Sector 2. CJ and Blue Goggy, there's still a very good gap between them two. It's 3/10. Someone spun. Polo has spun. That's unfortunate for Polo. The gap between Blue Goggy and CJ is still quite close. It's possible that Blue Goggy might be able to overtake here. 4/10, 3/10, using his got DRS there. We'll have to see what happens. He's getting close. Here we go. No, not yet. Not this time. Very close though. Oh, he's back. Ryan's back.
Yay.
Um,
Yeah. I was also going to mention, I saw before I went to where I did, Will had that 3-second penalty. We got a spin. That is Sam Steed. And I
spun
think
again.
there may have been a collision with Joe, or at least he was around Joe when that happened. And that is another penalty, by the way, for Aaron Ocon. who
What's
is
he on
18.
now? Is he
Did
on
Paulo's-
12?
I think he is. Let me check. Yep. Did Paulo spin, by the way? Because he's down the
Yeah,
order.
Polo spun coming out of turn 3, which was
Oh, I see.
unfortunate for him.
That was the same place he spun in the opening lap, too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for
And-
Polo there.
And he's on 26 lap mediums while we're at it. He's just hoping on a safety car at this rate. The thing as well is I also saw the 3-second for Will. I think that was maybe double 3-second, was it? No, it's just the
no,
one. It
just
just
the-
popped
just
up
the one.
twice. That's why. Okay, well, with overtake used on that straight from CJ, he's closed the gap. It was 1.7. Struggling through turn 2's put him back a little. However, 7th place in this race. Pluto down the inside, side by side with Lando. Gonna go side by side at turn 2. Now Pluto is ahead. Yellow flags, that's Joe.
Just bump.
However, side by side, turn 3. And now in the run to turn 4, Lando, Pluto, side by side,
That's
not
still side
giving
by
an inch.
side.
Pluto gonna be ahead. But Lando fighting this back around the
Lando's still on the
outside. He's
outside.
thinking about it. He is. He's gonna go around the outside right here, but cannot make the move. He's gonna try here. Now to turn
he
6.
pulls back.
Has to back off.
That's back
What
on.
great racing between these two competitors.
They're so good together. It looks
Just like
So
Mexico. They did the
I-
same there.
Mexico. It's an interesting track of Mexico. There's so much going on. What else is going on between drivers now? There's nothing much going on. Again, it's settling in. The closest gap I can see is Rowdy and Rundle's. That's 4/10.
By the way, just to put this out there, Aaron's about to be lapped. Polo got his spun. He's got rear wing damage. He's got a puncture, actually, which may be the result of him spinning. He does have a puncture on those 27 lap mediums, trying to hang it out.
he's spun
At this
again.
point, his only hope for this race may be that fastest lap. Which,
It might be.
let me see who you take it away from. Oh, don't get disqualified. You're right in front of the leaders. Oh, boy.
I think it was Joseph who got the fastest lap.
Thrasher now has it. Okay,
is it
9-6. Yeah. He's the only one in the 9th, so Polo could get this. And if he doesn't re-enter back on the track, the game would give him a 10-second penalty, and it has. Yikes. Not the
Ooh.
race for Polo he would have wanted. It's just been trouble since the start. And this was the race he was fearing. He knew this was going to be his trouble. And he had trouble here in Season 1, got taken out after his pole position. Not
Yeah.
only that, but Season 2, he just got out qualified by his teammate, finished in the points with a late safety car, but now he's got punctures on 2 of his 4 tires.
Both rear tires, or is it one front
One's a
and one
front,
rear?
one's a rear.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, CJ, 1.5 now, close to Jab, who's trying for win number 3 in the league. Would be the 2nd winner of the season, and it would be Polo and Jab being the first 2 winners, 2 ex-teammates.
Rowdy and
Yellow
Rundle have
flags.
swapped.
There you
That'll
go.
be-
Yep, that's Joseph. Is it? Yeah, it is. I'm right. Sorry. That was for a decent position. That was 13th right there. That was, I thought it was Polo because of the puncture, but now Rundle and Rowdy trade spots again. Rowdy's on the fringes of points.
So cool. So much
That's
fun.
it for him.
Yeah,
That's
I
it for
think that.
Polo.
I think that's it for Polo. That's
He had a
unfortunate
puncture.
for
He,
him.
he may have had rear wing damage as well, which
That's a
that
killer.
would not surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a killer. 5 laps to go in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Rowdy has done well with positions. He's gained 8 positions within this whole race. He's done very well. He's going to get into the points.
Rundle's struggling there at turn 12 in the soft tires. Sorry, this opens a spot for Rowdy. However, he just could not get enough traction. However, he's got enough traction out of the final braking zone there to allow him alongside Rundle on the main straight, side by side. Yellow flags, that's Polo's ghosted car, but through the middle, Riles goes through.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch that. That's so unfortunate.
And now Pluto and Lando, sorry, with the lap car of Thrasher in the way, I think they almost came to collision. And now the lead is at 1.1.
Whoa! Rundle and Rowdy have. It looked like there was
Oh.
contact between them.
Sorry, this again, Lando and Pluto once more. Lando's gonna fight this now. Lando to the inside line. They're gonna be side by side again at this corner. Now, Lando ahead for the time being, but Pluto hanging around the outside. Can he keep the place? Can Lando attack the place still? Now, Lando hanging around here where Goggy overtook CJ side by side. He avoided collision somehow.
That is some brilliant racing between them two, side by side between those in those corners. That is difficult.
Tough.
That is a difficult thing
Tough.
to do.
Oh, Rundle spins! He's around, and luckily he keeps it straight, but that's him out of the points.
Oh, unlucky for Rundle there. Keeping it. Oh, he's getting in the way of Matty. Yeah, slightly.
Oh, what? Oh yeah, I see. Now Lando and Pluto again. Pluto down the inside. Gonna pinch Lando. Lando had to back out of that.
Lando
Pluto
may
just
come
makes
back.
you go right to the limit.
Yeah.
And you
okay,
know
yeah.
what? The more they keep battling, I thought they would be able to catch Logivic in 6th, but the more they keep battling, the
Here
more I
comes
think
Lando
that's not
again.
going to happen. Around the outside, can he keep this time? Or is he going to try for the switchback? He tries for the switchback, but cannot get it done. However, he's on the left side of him this time. Going to fight this into turn 6. Side by side, he had to back off of it.
This is some brilliant racing between them two. They're so close together, wheel to wheel at almost nearly every corner. It's such good racing.
And to put it out there, if Jab does win this race, he would take control of the points lead. And Williams would extend that constructor's lead too.
That's a very good point there, Ryan. Yeah, that's a very good point. Hopefully, if Chungus can get past Blue Goggy, it'll be a double points finish for Williams as well.
Or podium, you mean? Yeah.
Double.
I know what you
double
mean.
podium. I mean, sorry. Yes, my mistake.
That'd be 2 in a row for them to start the season. However, Chungus on Goggy down the inside, just as we spoke of it, side by side. Goggy gonna fight this. This is for Goggy's first podium that he's fighting. Chungus still hanging around the inside, not gonna give it up. However, Goggy slides ahead. Now Lando and Pluto on the run to turn 4. Pluto back down the inside. They touch. They're around. And that's trouble to both their races. They were keeping it good, but now it has just resulted in damage.
That's
Unfortunate.
So unfortunate for them too.
Just the pinching just resulted in that. Lando is around the outside, and Pluto is still fighting it. I don't know who to blame there.
I'm not sure who would be at fault.
I'd have to look at that back
Yeah.
to see who would be at fault,
Good
but
idea.
I couldn't pinpoint one right there. They were
No.
fighting really tough.
I would class that as just a
Really tough
racing
work.
incident at that point. That was so close between them two.
Chungus still fighting on the back of Goggy, by the way.
4/10.
For position. Yup, exactly. And behind that, Surfy fighting for a top 5 with Haas. It would be his 3rd top 5. No podiums for him at that point. However, Chungus
Chungus a lot
looking
of
to the
speed.
inside now on Goggy. Turn 4, side by side, almost touching wheels. Goggy, good defending by him.
Very good
Keeps
defending
ahead.
by Goggy there. That's again, I keep saying it, but it's true. It's some brilliant racing between these two drivers. These drivers, they're so connected with whatever they're doing. It's just so good, and the gap that is there, it constantly changes from 6/10 to 2/10 to 4 to almost 600ths to 500ths of a second. There's so much that they can do. We're coming on to the final lap, I believe.
You know CJ's not going to give this up. He's trying to use every bit of his battery that he can. Jab has more than him, and he was almost in DRS right there. However, behind that, Chungus Goggy, 3rd place again in this race, down the inside, side by side. Chungus comes to collision with him almost. Goggy has to run wide, but now turn 3, this battle continues. Now to turn 4, Chungus overtaking Gage, DRS engage. Now, which way does he go? Left side. Gonna be side by side now at turn 4. Chungus on the inside line. He's gonna go ahead. However, Goggy has an opportunity to switch this back. He will. He's gonna try it, but can't do anything from it.
Chungus, no ERS management at all there.
And CJ's in a DRS. By the way, CJ's in a DRS in this final lap.
Could this be it?
Now he's out of it.
Oh, he's out.
Now
of it
he's out of
again.
it. By the way, if he continues in 6th place, it'd be a best finish for Logivic. Goggy's trying for his. He'd tie his right now, but one position might make the difference. However, final corners for Jab and CJ. Jab comes up to a lap car. He will get DRS, and that may be the difference.
That'll be
Chungus
it, I
Goggy
believe.
still fight this out. Jab. It will be win number 3. He held off CJ. He's gonna win it. He wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, and fighting to the line behind that, Goggy, Chungus. Goggy misses out on his first podium
That is
as
some-
CJ and Chungus complete the podium.
That is probably one of the most amazing races I've ever seen. So much action between the drivers. There's so
Rowdy
much-
and Riles still gonna fight
Rowdy and
this.
Riles.
Yep, we're not done.
We're not done
Logivic
yet.
finishes 6th, best finish. Riles, Rowdy. Next is Lando and Pluto. And they come home in points finishes. Could have been better, but their collision changed all that.
Wow. What an amazing
Rundle and Sam too. It's an AlphaTauri sandwich between these guys. He's gonna fight it. The most finishers in URS history if we keep this up. However, Rundle fights to the line, side by
Whoa!
side. Oh, Rundle got him by
Once again-
7 thousandths.
Wow.
Whew.
That's insane. That is something. That is so close between them two.
A first podium for CJ, double podium for Williams. Jab, the winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Win number 3. Aaron coming across the line to be the last finisher. 18 finishers, second week in a row, a URS record has been completed for that.
Now that is a very good race. That was so good.
Very much so. Wow.
Yes, okay. Here we go. Podium. There we go.
Jab says he loves Brazil, and I'd imagine leading the championship for the first time.
I do not blame him at all. What an amazing race. You want to run down the list?
Yeah, how about you run down the order? I'll get the invites to the top 3.
So, for first position, we have Jab. Second, we have CJ. Third, we have Chungus. So, Williams 1-3, double podium. That is well played to them. That means they're still leading the championship, and Jab takes control of the season so far. Blue Goggy is 4th. Surf is 5th. Lodvik with his best finish so far is 6th. So good from him. We then have Riles, Rowdy, Lando, Pluto to finish up the top 10. It's so good. Well done to everyone else. It was such a good race. Unfortunate for Ryan, unlucky for Joe, Thrasher, and unlucky to Polo and Com as well. But what an amazing race. What an amazing race.
I must say as well, Gagi got a lot of credit from Chungus. I usually don't see that from Gagi and Chungus giving each other the credit that they got there, but that was an impressive battle for third place between them. Just a little over a tenth separating that podium finish. Gagi's podium hopes for his first is gonna have to wait once more. Podium finishers, welcome along.
Who have we got so far? We've got
Jab and CJ. Usually Chungus doesn't join our interviews. Oh, CJ's coming back on. Okay. There he is.
DJ's in. Here we go. Here he is.
We'll give Chungus one more invite. He usually doesn't come on. Nope, he's just got offline. Never mind.
Oh well.
Well, usually we go with third place first, but Chungus finished third, so we'll have you go with second place finisher. Morgan, give CJ a shot at an interview.
Well, big pressure. Well done to you, CJ. Second place. How do you feel? How do you feel about that finish? CJ? Can you hear me? Hello? Mike, muted maybe? Nope.
Nah.
Ah, there we go. There you go. Got you.
Just won't pick me up. But, yeah, I feel with that result. I wasn't expecting to beat them, beat the Williams, to be fair. They were quick in the practices we were doing. I knew I was quick, but I didn't think I was going to be anywhere near them. On race pace, at least.
Yeah, race pace. But you looked so quick in qualifying. I honestly thought that, not to say anything bad to Jab, but I thought that you, CJ, would have won this race. Just seemed like a few things didn't come your way, from what I saw anyway.
Yeah, I used my URS too early on the final push I did, and then after the pit stop I got in a bit of traffic, which slowed me down a bit, but not substantially. But yeah.
Ryan, anything else? I've got nothing else.
Yeah, CJ, it's your first podium. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty good. I was hoping for the win here because of the time trial pace and everything, but the podium's pretty good. Yeah,
Congrats. Good job.
cheers.
Another thing to note as well before we get to Jab is the fact that Blue Goggy, with that result today, he has now accumulated the most points in a single season that he has got before. 23 points to his total last season. The previous season, none, and then the previous season before that was only 1 point. So, you know what? He is now doubled his total points tally from this season, from heading in from the end of last season to this season. So, fair play to him from that. Also, Lojovic, a 6th place finish, his best result as well. Now on to you, Jeb.
Hey,
Winner at Brazil, race win number 3. You're leading the championship for the first time. How are you feeling about things?
for one, kind of great because I really thought CJ was just gonna run away with it after qualifying. Um, but we had the race pace, and I was kind of scared because I did run the highest downforce out of everyone. I think, based on Mark telling me I was 20th in the speed trap, you know. Um, so I was kind of scared on every straight. Think I would be able to hold on, to be honest. But did the overcut, avoided the traffic, and then saved just enough ERS so CJ couldn't get into DRS range and we went at Brazil. You know?
Yeah, when you came out ahead after the overcut, what was in your mind? I mean, you knew Joseph, who was behind you, was gonna have DRS, and there were cars behind him that were there to follow, who would have challenged you for this race win, but that overcut changed the result of things. Did you think that was gonna work the way it did?
Actually, I didn't. I thought I was gonna come out behind the train because I looked on the map before I pitted. I saw him, CJ, in the train, so I thought I was gonna end up behind them. And then when I came out, I was like way ahead, so that surprised me. And then I just, I was on cold tires. You have to survive, and I was able getting warmed up, and then as that, just let them battle behind me, and took the victory.
I must also say as well, 2 double podiums to start the season for you and Chungus. Not only that, but the Constructors' Championship lead. You guys are out in front by quite the margin. We go to Saudi Arabia next week.
Oh no.
What is going to be on display there?
To be honest, I see Chungus battling for the win. For me, I actually might have to practice for this race because I really don't like Jeddah, but I'm kind of bad, not gonna lie. So I'm probably gonna have to. If I get come out with a top 5, I'll take that. To be honest, and other than that, I honestly think GSR Thrasher is gonna go up there. Like just for your predictions, just put him.
Yeah, you got
got
fastest lap.
Yeah, he got fast lap too. Like, come on, put him in there.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations on the win. Morgan, any questions?
No, Ryan, I think you took everything out of my mouth that I was wanting to say. All I'm going to say is,
Lovely.
Jab, well done. Congrats on the
Thank you.
win. Congrats on the double podium for Williams as well. Good luck in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you.
All right.
Morgan, we leave Brazil round number 2 with Jab leading the drivers, Williams leading the constructors, but I feel weird to say that Goggy is going to have a chance this season, if he continues to rack up these results, to be a big spoiler, be a big upset. I think back to last week where he had a chance at the podium. This week he had a chance at the podium. And, Jab, Chungus, Goggy, and Polo is really the top 4 in the championship when you think about the end result of the way things have happened. I'm shocked to say that. I'm shocked to say that we're changing to the extent where we could say that Blue Goggy can win the championship. And, he picked himself. We thought we're going to laugh at him for that, but he's not making any laugh of it as of right now.
No, I think Blue Goggy, especially next race, he's got a very, very good chance at getting on the podium, finishing first, I would say. But that's all still to come. We can only speculate from now. But again, like you said, Blue Goggy and Thrasher and all those people, they're solid around different tracks that anyone else isn't. You know, it's always the possibility that something crazy can happen. But we've got to find out. We've got to see.
And if he does win, it'd be Alfa Romeo's first win in the league, and that's what they need as of the result of last season that they saw with Sam Guggy and even other drivers throughout the season. They struggled. They didn't finish last, but they struggled. So we'll see as to what they can do next week in Saudi Arabia. January 29th, next week at Saudi Arabia. 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK, your same usual time that you have. Will be next week at Saudi Arabia. We'll let you know on the commentator details for next week as to who will be commentating. We'll give you an update on that. However, I'm your commentator, Ryan Ocon31, and my co-commentator, Morgan Cheeseman. Till next
Nice to
time,
see you.
have a good one.
Bye.